It's the back of you when we go live.
Oh, thanks, dear.
Well,
You coulda warned me.
I did warn you. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Wait, I'm not hearing anything.
Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Check, check.
Hello. I can hear me on my other computer.
That's weird. I don't know why I can't hear.
All right. Can everybody hear me? Let's see. Check Facebook for thumbs up. Anybody give me a thumbs up?
Yeah, that seems to be saying that you're.
Okay, just making sure I'm on before I get started here. Today we are talking about stockpiling. Why? Because today and tomorrow they're still having their Thanksgiving sales. And now, oops, I'm too close. Now is the time for you guys to be buying stock up prices. Everybody's advertising 2019 prices on their groceries. So we're going to talk about stocking up and your stockpile today. As a matter of fact, Mike and I are getting ready to do another $1,000 stock up probably. Mike was like, is our stockpiling going down? And I said, yes, it is, because I haven't been to the grocery store for like 6 months. I did buy some stuff for Thanksgiving, but we go in and buy 1 or 2 things here and there, but I haven't done a big grocery stock up for several months. So we're going to get started. First of all, guys, let me just say, for those of you wanting our undated planner, the first batch arrived on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. You can tell my daughter Ellie, thank you for that. These sat in the snow in Wyoming. Okay, not really blizzarding snow, just a couple of flurries, but I got a funny story about these. So if you want our undated planner, guys, we've got those. If you haven't shipped yet, because we have to go down and get the rest of them. That's why they haven't shipped yet. So, but they are getting done. Also, up to 50% off all of our cookbooks, including our gluten-free, dairy-free edition, Dining on a Dime Volume 1, Volume 2. These two go together, but they are totally different recipes. If you had to pick one, I would go with Volume 1 to start. Volume 2 is just all the recipes we couldn't fit in here. And then gluten-free, dairy-free is, our Volume 1 in a gluten-free, dairy-free edition. 40% off our print books, guys, and 50% off our ebooks. All right, 5 secrets you didn't know about stockpiling. You're going to say, Tara, I probably know these. Okay, probably you know some of these, but a lot of people don't know these things. That's why we repeat them. Number 1, expiration dates don't count. What? Here's the thing. Expiration dates are a huge, huge issue for a lot of people. And a lot of people get hung up on expiration dates, but really, expiration dates don't mean squat, with the exception of condiments like mayonnaise and ranch dressing, okay? Dairy-based, egg-based dressings and salad dressings, it matters for those. Everything else doesn't matter. Canned goods can go 5 to 10 years past the expiration date. Yes, you heard me right. When we moved from the last house to here, I found some canned goods that had fallen down the back of the shelves. They were 8 years past the expiration date, which means I had them at least 12 or 13 years. And they were perfectly fine. We ate them. They were just fine. So canned goods can go 5 to 10 years past the expiration date. Your flour can go 1 to 2 years past the expiration date. I found a bag of flour that I had forgotten about, and it expired last August, a year ago August, and it's perfectly fine. I made our Thanksgiving pies with it. There's nothing wrong with it. You'll know when there's something wrong because it will smell bad. So I'm using that flour right now, doing a bunch of baking, getting all that used up. Sugar. Can they see Well, you can't see it, but down on the bottom here, I have some sugar in some blue bags. The very bottom. That sugar expired 3 years ago. It's perfectly fine. Sugar can pretty much go indefinitely. If it gets hard, just scrape it off. That's how sugar used to come in the olden days. They would purposely wet it and mold it like sugar cubes, but they would do cones. I don't know why they did cones. Anybody know why they did cones? And they would do them as a cone, and then you would shave it off, and that's what you would use for your sugar in the old days, and that's how they would ship it. Baking powder and yeast are two other things that you can't go very much further past the expiration date on those. You can go about 6 to 9 months past the expiration date. But if your breads don't rise and your quick breads don't rise, then you'll know that your yeast or your baking powder has expired. Okay. And if you want to know if it's still active, for yeast, put it in water that is 120 to 130 degrees and see if it bubbles up and foams. If it bubbles up and foams, your yeast is still alive. Baking powder, put it into warm water. If it still bubbles up, it's still good. Okay. Brown sugar, powdered sugar, those can pretty much go, I don't know, several years, 5, 6, 7 years. Pastas can go 5 to 8 years. Your fats are another thing that you want to use up fairly quick. So the ones that you can't store long term would be your fats, your sugar, or your fats, your flours, and then your condiments that have fats and dairy in them, like your mayonnaise and your salad dressings. Those are the only things that can't really go past the expiration date. Fats can go about 1 to 2 years past the expiration date if they're still sealed. If you're not using it fast enough, you can freeze it. Just put it in freezer bags and freeze your fats if you want. Don't forget, you can make a candle out of your Crisco's and your lards. You can make soap out of them. You can use them as a hand moisturizer, body moisturizer. So don't just throw them away. Your pastas can go 6 to 7, 8 years past the expiration date. They can go pretty much forever. Anything with sugar is a natural preservative. So anything with sugar, your jellies, your syrups, all of those will last several years past the expiration date. Honey, even if your honey crystallizes, see how my honey is crystallized here? All I do is just cut off the bottom, put it in a pan and remelt it, and I've got my honey back in a liquid state again. Super, super easy. Your rice can go, my goodness, several years, probably 20 years. Rice and beans will go. Now, your beans will get hard and dried out, and so it'll be hard to cook them. So you may need to pre-soak them. You may need to boil them longer to get them soft enough to eat, but beans will go 5 to 10 years also. Okay. Let's see. What else did I miss? Your mashed potato flakes and your spices will go really long time also. Cereals will go 1 to 2 years past the expiration date. Okay. All right. Now I am going to sit down and talk to you about the rest since I've shown you most of it. Okay.
Can we put the camera down or anything?
Probably can if you want a little bit. Okay, let's see here. As Mike is getting the camera fixed, oh, there's his handsomeness. What? Oh, there's his handsome head again. Oh, there it is, even more. Now I'm crooked. Here.
You could have had a V8. Is that more like what you're looking for?
I think so. Are we crooked?
I can zoom it in more if you want.
I think we're crooked. Okay. All right, next. Buy food you eat. Now, you would think everybody would know this. Here, I could just scoot up. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. I could scoot up. Sorry, guys. We haven't been down here for so long.
We're highly technical today.
I know. We're highly technical. Buy food you eat. You would be amazed at how many people don't buy stockpile food that they eat. I don't buy any food that we eat. As a matter of fact, I don't even buy SpaghettiOs and ravioli anymore because nobody eats SpaghettiOs and ravioli in my family. So I don't even buy those anymore. Well, I didn't really buy them in the first place. I got some for free and I had them in my stockpile for that. But just buy the food that you eat. The next thing is sweets. Now, you're going to say, what, Tara? You don't need sweets to survive. No, you don't. But if it's a highly stressful situation, if the fecal matter has hit the oscillation unit and things are just berserk, having your sweets and your coffee and your tea will help calm you down. So having something sweet, I have hard candies in some bags. I have some chocolate. I have, what else do I have? Cake mixes, brownie mixes, and those kinds of things. All not a ton, but enough so that we can have something, kind of sweet and fun occasionally. Buy what's on sale. Everybody complains about how expensive food is. It is, but you can still find really good deals on sale, especially this week. That's why we're doing the stockpile video today, because this week, everybody's got everything on sale. So buy it this week. Buy it on clearance. Like I got these brownie mixes for 50 cents, and they even come with the frosting and sprinkles after Halloween. They were $5 and they were 90% off, so I got them for 50 cents. Yeah, really good deal. I should have probably bought more, actually. I was trying to be a little conservative, but I should have got more. Watch for case sales, lot sales. A lot of times those can be a good deal, but not always. This is where our price book comes in handy. Mike will put the link for our price book in there. Sorry, dearest.
I was prepared.
But our price book, helps you keep track of your prices. Is it on sale? Did we put that one on sale?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's even 50% off right now, guys. In case you missed it, all of our print books are 50% off except for our planners. Our Dining on a Dime cookbooks are 40% off right now, and our ebooks are 50% off. Sorry, I misspoke. Print books are 40% off. Ebooks are 50% off. So grab it on sale. Next is, don't forget your medications. This is a big one. Now, we all got sick for Thanksgiving, of course. Our Thanksgiving ended up being good. It had a rough start, but it ended up working out well. But as we were sick for Thanksgiving, I was just like, oh my goodness, what would we do if we didn't have NyQuil? I know we would make it, but wow, it just really helps you sleep. It helps you get better. Dave, our poor Dave, he got sick on Wednesday, and he has just been hacking up a lung. And we've been doing everything we can for him. Nebulizer, the Dayquil, the NyQuil, trying to keep him. Yes, you need to keep coughing, and we get that. But, even with the Dayquil and the NyQuil, Dave just has this horrible hacking cough. And I was just thinking, oh my goodness, how miserable would the poor guy be if he didn't get any relief at all? Make sure you've got your vaporizers. Make sure you've got your Epsom salts. Make sure you've got your anti-itch creams, your burn salves, your aloe with painkiller for burns. Make sure you've got bandages, gauzes, anti-diarrhea medicine. That's a big one you really don't want to have when you're in an emergency situation. All of those things will just make it a little easier. You can go ahead and send me the first block of questions. Now, you're not going to be preparing for everything. You're not going to be able to do it. So stop thinking you're going to be prepared for every single scenario. You're not. When we prep and when we stockpile, it is just to get us through. Like the people in New York that just had that horrible, 6 feet worth of snow or whatever it was. They needed a stockpile. Some of them couldn't get out. And it's like, I can't imagine some of those people going in the snow just to get milk and bread when they could have had it on hand. They're expecting tornadoes. They're expecting really severe storms coming up in the southeast here in the United States.
If you need that one, you can take it.
I think I got it on here.
If you've asked a question, Tara will be getting the questions here shortly.
That is what we're stockpiling for. We get the question almost every day. Well, what are we stockpiling for? Did you send it to my personal? Yep. You are stockpiling for any emergency. You never know when you're going to have an emergency come up. When we moved to Idaho in January, let's see, when would that have been? That would have been, oh my 95. Goodness, 96. So 26 years ago, when we moved to Idaho, the week we moved there, I still don't have it. We had mudslides really bad. They had flooding rains, and our little town of 400, we got trapped in, and we could not get to the grocery store. It was a fairly exciting moment moving there for us. Those are the kinds of things that you are stockpiling for. Oh, sorry. Duh. And people just don't think anything bad is ever going to happen to them. And it does. It happens all the time. So those are the 5 secrets, guys. I'm going to be answering your questions now. So if you have a stockpile question, please go ahead and put it in there. If you have any question, I guess we can answer any question. It doesn't have to just be about stockpile. But Tina, are you going to show us your big shopping haul? I can. I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, I can. My shopping hauls don't do very good on my channel, but I can show you what I'm going to do. Granny Fabulous, what is the stuff you put down to keep critters from getting your stockpile? It is diatomaceous earth right here. Michael put the link in there for you. And I just sprinkle it inside my buckets and around my buckets. Here, let me show you. Oh my goodness. See, I just sprinkle it on top like that. And then I open it up and I sprinkle a little bit on the inside also. The bugs walk through it and it breaks up their exoskeleton and they basically dehydrate and die. I misspoke in one of my videos and said the bugs eat it. The bugs don't eat it. And I knew that in the video. I was just tired and misspoke. But when the bugs walk through it, then it's like little glass for them. And that's why it kills parasites when you take it and when humans use it as an anti-parasite. So that's what I use. Debbie, how far past the expiration date will Crisco shortening be good? Well, I don't know how far it'll go. I should test one, and I don't know how to test that and see. But I will tell you that I have one that this right now is almost December 2022, and I am using Crisco that expired in August of 2020, and it's still good. Now, this is Colorado. I have fairly even temperatures in my basements that I've stayed in, so it hasn't gotten hot and cold and all that stuff. And it's stayed dry, so that helps, but I don't know what's the longest it will go. But I will say about probably a year to 18 months, 2 years, somewhere around there. You'll know it's bad because it will smell. If it doesn't have a really bad smell, then it's not bad. Oh, Janine, I threw my 2020 stuff out. Oh my goodness. No, don't do that. Did you send me the rest of the questions?
If you need.
Okay, Mike's going to put the links in real quick for the books for our sale, guys. Our 40% off our print books and 50% off of our ebooks for our Black Friday sale right now. Mike's going to put that in real quick before he leaves to go get Jack at school. But all of our print books are 40% off except for our planners, and then our ebooks are 50% off.
If you need the links,
all right, thank you. So don't throw away all of your stuff. Oh, that just is sickening. Wow. Yeah. Don't throw it out. Use it. Use it up. Loretta, I have yeast 3 years out of date and I pitched it. Made great bread. Shoot. Yeah, I wouldn't pitch it. I would test it first and see if it's still usable. And yeast is something that you can wave to the camera. Here he goes.
Bye, everyone. Back in a bit.
He's got to run to school to get Jack real quick.
I'm sure you'll still be here.
Sure, you'll still be. Yeah, we would have Dave go get him, but Dave is really, really sick. And we feel so bad because Dave's boss came over to bring us. Dave's boss is also our realtor, and they brought us a pumpkin pie on Tuesday. And then his wife got really sick for Thanksgiving. I feel so bad. We didn't know everybody was going to get sick, and then Wednesday morning we woke up and we were like, oh no. All right, so yeast is something that you can freeze. Shortening lard and yeast are things that you can freeze. And I've had yeast 5 years past the expiration date in the freezer that has still been good. So don't just throw out your yeast, go ahead and freeze it. Frugally Retired just ordered about a year's supply of the Pantry personal items from Walmart shipping. Did it a few weeks ago just in case. Yeah, that's what I would do. Wanda, I gave my daughter Volume 1 cookbook for her birthday. She loved it. She's getting Volume 2 for Christmas. Yay! And it's 40% off right now. What is my thoughts on the railroad strike? Well, that's one of the reasons why we do this. Because listen, I've been criticized for having such a big stockpile. We probably have 6 to 9 months worth of food for my family, for my kids and my extended, my mom and everybody. But let me tell you, I got probably a 25 to 30% return on my investment on all of this now. No investments will give you that amount of return. Now, I'm not saying you should just pull your 401k and go buy $100,000 worth of food, but you should do something. So I saved 25% on my grocery bill now because I bought this a year and a half ago while it was still cheaper. That's why we're getting ready to go do another $1,000 haul, because the railroad strike will probably make prices go up for February, March, and April if there is one. And you don't know if you're going to be able to get food. You don't know. So, what are my thoughts? I think that the railroad should give them fair pay and sick days. I think that's ridiculous. I think they're right in striking. I don't blame them. But, they do have a choice. It's not like we're a communist country where you don't have a choice in your job. You do have a choice to work that job, and you do know when you're getting that job. But do I think they should be on call 24/7 and have no sick days? No, I don't think so. I think that's wrong, and that I would quit my job too if that was the circumstances I was working under. Amber, how often do you go through your inventory and check on dates? I don't. I never check on dates except for when I come down to get something. So like I had to get flour for Thanksgiving, so I just looked to see which flour was the oldest, and I used that flour first. That's how I check my expiration dates. Now, if I was really with it, I would take a black magic marker and write the expiration date on every single thing, and then it would be easier to identify. But I haven't taken the time to do that. So I just look as I come down to get something. I do pull everything forward. So like if I was to restock my shortening here, whoops, wait, I did go. If I was to restock my shortening over here, I would pull all of it forward and put the new shortening at the back. Same with everything. So yeah. Barbara, I have friends who tell me to throw things away if goods are past the date. It's hard to argue with them. I wouldn't argue with them. Say it's my money. I ain't throwing away good money in the trash. See, what people don't see, they don't see the dollar bills they're throwing away when they throw away that canned good or the Crisco or whatever. You need to see that as dollar bills being thrown away. And then you need to see that as how many hours did you have to work to pay for that. And let's see, who was it? Janine threw all of her 2020 stuff out. How many hours did you work for that stuff? Did you have $500 worth of stuff and you make $20 an hour? That's a lot of hours to work just to throw it away. You just worked literally for nothing. Literally for nothing. You just worked all those hours for nothing. So you need to calculate it into that. Kathy, hello, Kathy. I got your video. That was pretty funny. I agree 1,000% on the expiration date. I've had to go back through the trash when someone who thought they would go through some of my food and throw it out. I was mad and told them never to do that again. Oh my goodness, I would be livid. Now, it's one thing when you go through grandma's refrigerator and there's salad dressing that's, 5 years old. You don't want to be eating that. But canned goods, if it's bulging or it's dented, you don't want to eat it. But most of canned goods, they are perfectly safe to eat. Sometimes the flavor might change a little bit on like your green beans or whatever once it gets to 10, 15 years, but they're perfectly safe to eat. Bonnie, what grocery stores are advertising 2019 prices? I don't know what stores are in your place, but Walmart here has been advertising it. Albertsons here has been advertising it. I've heard all over the country they've been doing Thanksgiving sales with 2019 prices. How often do you go to the store? Amber wants to know. So we'll go to the store once or twice a week to get one or two things like milk or vegetables. But to get a big grocery haul, I used to go every month, and then I went every 2 weeks, but it's averages 2 to 4 weeks I shop. I don't shop weekly I don't plan my meals and shop weekly. I cook from what I have on hand. I don't plan menus. I just see what I have on hand and what needs to be used first. And that's how I cook out of my fridge, freezer, and then pantry. Connie, how long does powdered coffee creamer last? Quite a while. Just smell it and see if it smells bad. I would say couple of years, 3 years past the expiration date. Kathy, I agree. People throw out way too much stuff. Yes, you're totally right. Susan, I look thin. Thank you. I did lose some weight. I have stalled out, but thank you very much. Kathy, how long will tea bags last? I don't know, but I have some that are like 5 years old that I'm still using right now. So quite a while. Make sure the potato flakes don't have butter or dairy in them because those expire before plain ones and do not make as good long-term storage. Denise, you are correct in that. Anything with any fat or dairy does not last as long. Rhonda, I'm so happy to see you. Aw, thanks for joining me tonight or this afternoon. Debbie, how far past the expiration is cake mix good? I would say a couple of years. If you're wondering if it's still good and you're not quite sure, you can put an extra teaspoon of baking powder in there. It's the baking powder that goes bad in cake mixes first. Cake mixes, brownie mixes, all those things. It's the baking powder that goes bad first. Bonnie, I got a spiral sliced ham for 89 cents. I put in the freezer for Christmas. Yes. I am just kicking myself. I only got one ham for 97 cents. And then they didn't have any more and I couldn't get a rain check and I could have just kicked myself. I don't even know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking, but I only got one ham and I'm just sick. Are your ebooks on Amazon? We have a few ebooks on Amazon, but Amazon was being a dork, and so we stopped putting our ebooks on there. Most of them are livingonadime.com, and they're 50% off right now. Finding a way. What a great sale. If anyone is gluten-free or has a friend or family member is gluten-free, the book is amazing. So is the regular one. If you aren't, great gift idea. Thank you, Finding a Way. Yes, my gluten-free. So the gluten-free one is... Ooh. So the gluten-free, dairy-free one is the green one. Okay, this is our gluten-free, dairy-free one. And it is this book turned into gluten-free recipes. And I have tested every single one. The sandwich bread, I went through 40 testings before I found a sandwich bread that I thought was perfect and loved the sandwich bread. Volume 1 and 2. Now, guys, these are all 40% off right now, livingonadime.com. The sandwich bread, the volume 1 and volume 2 go together, but they have all different recipes. Okay. And let me real quick here. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me get the link for you guys. Oh, that's not what I needed. Sorry, I don't have Mike's gone getting Jack at school. Here is the link for you guys to go grab all of these books real quick here. Let's see. All right, here. Oh, shoot. Now it's being a dork. Hold on, everybody. Okay, there's that one for YouTube and Facebook. I don't know what I'm doing. Nope, that's not what I'm wanting to do. Okay, so everything is 40 to 50% off. 40% off the print books and 50% off the ebooks. I was sick all last week. Thank goodness I had stocked up on cold meds and comfort food. Montana girl says yes. Let me tell you, I am so thankful we didn't have to go to the store to get cold medication. Now, we did buy some cold medication because we were all so sick. Mike's like, he was at the store and he's like, it's in stock. I'm just going to make sure I have it. But we didn't need to. We did get a couple of extra boxes, but we didn't need to because we had enough on hand. So Amber just brought your price book. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Amber. I hope it helps you save money. Cindy, I've been buying all these first aid items a little at a time through Amazon. Subscribe and save. It's a little cheaper that way. Yeah, just check your prices. It might be. Lena and my thoughts in New Hampshire and love this show. Oh, thanks so much. L Hall, I have been trying to tell my family to live frugally, but they have the best of everything. Well, if they don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. Kimberly, we're expecting storms here. We have been snowed in on the farm before for close to a week. Always make sure you're stocked. You never know when that emergency is going to come. You never know when there's going to be a payroll error. All emergencies, you need to be stocked up. Yes, and look at all those people in China where the government just shut them down. You think that can't happen to here? I got news for you. It can happen here. And we are just this close away from communism here. So, that's part of the reason why I would be stocking up. Where did I get my shelves? Roxanne wants to know. I got them at a garage sale for $20 each. Got a stinking good deal. I got 8 sets. Leo, don't forget about your pets. Yes, although I really wouldn't worry about pets as much as I would about people. Pets can eat leftovers. Pets can eat mice, that kind of thing. But make sure people are stocked up first and then start stocking up for your pets. Suzanne, I want to see the shopping haul, like going through it once you're back home. Okay. I guess I can do that. It's a major ordeal to do a huge shopping haul like that, but I can maybe do that. Yes.
Apparently you're frozen.
Apparently I'm frozen, so I'm sitting here talking to no one.
Well, no, you're talking to everyone.
Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I am frozen. So can you hear me, but you can't see me?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, guys.
What does it say?
Can you hear me or can you see
I
me?
just fell asleep, I think.
Can you hear me or can you see me? Oh, did Dad's computer fall asleep? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Can you see me and hear me or just see me?
Yeah.
Or just hear me?
We're good.
Oh, lovely. So I wonder how long we were frozen. Do you know?
I don't know.
Have no idea. Can somebody tell me? How long have I been yakking and I was frozen? Let's see. About 5 minutes. Okay.
That's about how long
Okay, so let's see. We'll go back to questions here. Let's see. Okay, the shelves I got for $20 a piece at a yard sale. I got 8 of them. That's funny because I was still on this computer, but it's feeding through that computer, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Kimberly, they said there could possibly be rolling blackouts from California to Maine this winter. Be ready. Yeah, you don't know when there's going to be blackouts, when there's going to be blizzards, mudslides, flooding, all of that kind of stuff. Jackaroo Lane. I don't know how you say that. I made your turkey and pecan pie recipes for Thanksgiving. They were so good. Thank you. Everybody's been saying how much our turkey recipe. They loved our turkey recipe. Dining on a Dime cookbook right here, volume 1, page 240 is the recipe. Yep. 40% off right now, livingonadime.com. Is the diatomaceous earth toxic to dogs and cats? It is not. It is used as a dewormer, as a parasite killer in animals. A lot of people give it to their chickens and their animals like that. Do you soak the peas before making split pea soup? I have not made split pea soup for a long time, so I don't know. There's Mike again. We were frozen and I didn't know it.
Frozen in time.
Frozen in time. So I don't know, guys. Do you I don't even remember if we had a split pea soup recipe. I don't think we did because I don't normally cook it. Karen says, I cooked my turkey on low and slow like you suggested, and it was fabulous. My husband agreed. We will always cook the turkey this way. I'm telling you guys, I'm not telling you to brag. I'm telling you because who wants to eat a dry turkey? Dining on a Dime cookbook, page 240, 40% off now. Yes, you can make a delicious, very moist, very tender, fall off the bone, no meat wasted turkey. Nikki, I am newly gluten-free, and your gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook saved our Thanksgiving. I made pies, rolls, gravy, stuffing, all gluten-free. Thank you for being a huge blessing to my family. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And it all probably tasted good, didn't it? I know, because I don't want to eat gross gluten-free food. I've been gluten-free, dairy-free for over 10 years now, and I didn't want to eat gross food. Kimberly, how do you keep up with dates and what do you do with expired items? I use the food, and I just pull the items forward. You can mark on there if you want, but I just mark on there what it is. Or, I mean, I just rotate my food. Christine says that our cobbler, we call it our apple crisp, but you can call it a cobbler or crisp, but it's the apple crisp in Dining on a Dime volume 1. What? Your cobbler rocks. Thank you, Christine. It's my great grandma's recipe. Wanda Hutchins, does diatomaceous earth help get rid of mice? No, it does not. You need mouse traps for that. Or a cat, whichever you would like. All right, Mike is back, and I will have him send me a few more questions here if we happen to have them, or did you get some?
I got like 2.
Got 2 more questions. Amazing Grace. Yes, I did your turkey instructions, and I couldn't even flip it over in the pan. It fell apart, and my husband was like, wow, but it was so good. Yes. And I said, thank you, Tara. You're welcome. That is Mom's turkey that she's cooked that way for what, 60 years now? 50 years? 50 years. Tony, you do not have to soak peas for split pea soup. Just rinse well. Well, there you go. And Joyce says she's enjoying our shepherd's pie in Dining on a Dime, Volume 1, right there for dinner tonight. We did not really have any Thanksgiving leftovers, hardly at all. The kids took a few home, but we really didn't have that many left. All right, for those of you who don't know, we have our undated yearly planners. You can see how thick that is, almost 400 pages. But we have our yearly planners for those of you asking. I know you've been begging and begging for it. Oops, there you go. We have about just a little over a third of our inventory sold that we have on order right now. So if you want one, go pick it up. I have to tell you a funny story about these while Mike's getting other questions emailed to me real quick.
I'm not sure if you've answered
so my daughter, I bribed her with gas money. My daughter was coming from the town where the planners are printed in Colorado. And so I said, could you pick up what they have done and bring them up so I can get them shipped? And she was like, oh, okay. So she goes and does it. Well, they were coming up and they were talking and they didn't know that we were sick. Mike had told them the day or two before that we were starting to get sick, but they didn't know that we were sick. We actually had a different illness than the one we ended up with. So we had one illness that we thought we were pretty much all over. And then on Wednesday, we got another illness. Well, Mike had told them that we had been sick. My daughter and my niece were both driving up. My daughter, my niece, and then we're coming up in one car, and then my son and his friend were coming up in another car. And so they were talking to the boys, and the boys were coughing, and they were like, wait a minute, you're coughing. They were like, yeah. We didn't know you were sick. Yeah. Dad told you. Uncle Mike told you. And so then my niece was like, well, I don't know if I would have come if I would have known you guys were sick. Mike's like, well, okay. So they're going back and forth as they're driving up. They're halfway through Wyoming at this point, and a snowstorm is coming. So I told them, I said, they need to decide if they're coming or not. I said, we can drive down and meet them and pick up the books, and then they can just turn around and go home if they want. So my niece decided she didn't want to come, but my daughter wanted to go ahead and come. So they dropped my daughter off at a rest area in Casey, Wyoming, under a little, the picnic table cover thing with 8 boxes of books as flurries were coming down. Don't worry, the books didn't get wet or anything. But my daughter is sitting there with 8 cases of books in the middle of Wyoming with a dead cell phone as Mike is headed down there to go pick her up. So my niece turns around and heads home to Colorado. And I was just like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? So thankfully, everything went okay. Mike was able to get down there and get her before it got too bad. My niece was able to get home before it got too bad. But we were just like, oh my goodness. I told her to go to a restaurant and tell the manager the situation and ask if she can sit there for the hour while she waited for Mike to come pick her up. But she didn't do that. So anyway, if you guys want a planner, grab them now. We have shipped everything that we had. And so Mom and I are going down in a few days to a week to 10 days. I don't know when they're going to be done, but in the next week to 10 days, hopefully the rest of them will be getting done, and Mom and I will go pick up the rest of them. But so some of you have your planners shipped and some of you don't. If yours hasn't shipped yet, that's why we got to go down and get the rest of them. So anyway, that's the funny story on the planners. We had a rough start to our Thanksgiving, but it actually ended up being really good. My poor boys just got horribly sick, and poor BJ, every time he comes up here, he gets sick. I don't know why, he just does. And he's getting ready to move in 2 weeks to another state to build his tiny house. He's building a tiny house off grid, and he already lives off grid in an RV, but he's building a tiny house now, and he's moved to a different state to do that. Wanda, you don't need to soak split peas. Okay, good. So I guess you don't need to soak split peas. Lisa, I loved your turkey recipe. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, Kathia, hello from France. Hello. Wow, France.
She's been on it a lot of times.
That's pretty cool.
It's great to see you.
Amber, do you stock up on toiletries too, like face wash, toothpaste, etc.? Yes, I do. But start with the stuff that you can't use substitutes for. So start with like toothpaste. You can use baking soda to brush your teeth. Toilet paper, you can get a bidet. So stock up on things that you can't get. Like, this sounds dumb, but like Q-tips. You'd be surprised how many times you use Q-tips for medical reasons, not just for grooming. Razor blades. You can't, there's not really a substitute for razor blades. So start with the things that are harder to make substitutes for, but like face wash, those kinds of things. You can use shampoo for face wash. You can use bar soap for face wash and shampoo. So, I would start with like bar soaps first. Denise, I made the dinner rolls, sugar cookies, and potato soup from the gluten-free cookbook. We also did a gluten-free crust, and they were great. I made my daughters for Thanksgiving. Thank you, Tara. You are welcome, Denise. 40% off right now, our gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook. It actually is food that tastes good. Bev, I made your turkey this Thanksgiving. It came out the best turkey we've ever had. Wow, thanks, guys. I'll not make it any other way now. Lindsay, I fit 2 17-pound turkeys in my roaster this year and followed your recipe again, and it was delicious. Yay. Bev, you look terrific. What is your diet plan? Do you have a video on it? I do not have a video on it, but my diet plan is basically no sugar and no dairy or gluten. Right now is pretty much, but I have stopped losing weight because I am eating more calories than, even though I'm doing those things, I'm eating more calories. So I need to cut back on my calories. I just haven't had the option to do it lately. What are the best prices for gluten-free flour, and what is your price per pound to get by us? So my favorite, oh, here it is. Just a second. Oh, here, Mike, can you hand me that one right there? My favorite gluten-free flour, and the cheapest that I have found, is the Walmart gluten-free flour. I think it's $3.20 something, $3.24, something like that now. And this is the one that I like the best, and this is the one that I bake with. Stella, I couldn't find the video and they did a tour of your house. I would have enjoyed seeing it. By the way, your clay mask really helped my son's acne clear up. Yay! So we do have a mask recipe, and we do have acne recipes in volume 2 right here. One of the easiest ways to do acne mask is bentonite clay and activated charcoal mixed together. Also, for an acne face wash, if you take baby shampoo and put some activated charcoal in there, it is a super cheap, super easy acne wash that helps clear up acne. It's a lot cheaper than buying the special activated stuff in the store. There's nothing special about that stuff in the store, guys. Lena made the sweet potato casserole for Thanksgiving, my first time ever, and it was fabulous. Thank you. Right here. Diane Dime Cookbook Volume 1 is where all these recipes are. Mike is sending me the next batch of questions and comments. Leah made your apple pie filling and used your mom's pie crust. Turned out delicious. Yes. Isn't it great? Mom's pie crust is the best, and I hate pie crust. Jojo, didn't do a turkey, but my 2 whole chickens worked. The fell off the bones. Yes.
Using the turkey recipe, I think.
Yes. Kimberly, what did you say for toilet paper? So you can do things for like a bidet, get a bidet. Toilet paper, you can use newspaper, you can use rags. Toilet paper really isn't a necessity. Not real fun, but I mean, people didn't have toilet paper up until about 100 years ago. So toilet paper really wasn't a thing. So, believe it or not, toilet paper really isn't a necessity. You can use cut up rags as toilet paper and just wash them, which I know is not fun, but guys, I washed my kids' diapers for 4 years. So it can be doable. It's not hard. Dr. Henry, forget the baking powder. Just buy cream of tartar, which keeps long term in the freezer. If in an airtight container, keep it right alongside your yeast in a separate container to have it handy. Yes, exactly. That's not Ivana, is it?
I was wondering the same thing.
If that's you, Ivana, hi.
I didn't catch that till you said her.
I was so glad to talk to you the other day. Daffodil, for the diatomaceous earth, could you use double-sided tape to run the length of a stockpile floor and sprinkle it on? Then just sweep the excess. We bought a bag, but have a dog and kids that run through the area almost every day. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could probably do that. I mean, I just sprinkle it along the baseboards along the edge of my room. I don't think you need to really do it in the middle of the walkway.
It won't hurt the kids or the pets.
Yeah, it won't hurt them.
But to keep them out of the mess, the bugs mostly walk along the baseboards.
Yeah, I would just sprinkle it along the baseboards.
If it's like 6 inches out from the baseboards, that should more than cover it. Mm-hmm. And Tara puts it on top of the cans and things. It's not a poison or pesticide. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's fossil dust.
Yep. Thelma, my first time watching, very informative. Thank you. I'm glad you like it and welcome. Janine, speaking of cats and dogs, Aldi has little cans I stock up for under 89 cents each. Very good. Yeah. Kimberly, yes, I've caught mice in my house since Thanksgiving. Farm life. It's getting very cold outside and they're looking for a warm spot, but we have traps everywhere. It's about the only thing that works and it just gets them out of the house. Yes. I mean, pretty much with mice, you just really have to set traps. Montana Girl, Casey is a cool little place, home of Chris Ledoux. Yes, it is. And we had someone email me. I don't remember your name, but I did get your email about doing the cooking videos. I just haven't figured out what I'm doing yet.
One thing I might say is I do agree about some people are saying it's kind of dangerous leaving somebody at a rest area. And we did tell her a restaurant would be good.
We told her a restaurant.
But when I got there, I still don't think it's a great idea, but there were like 10 families under the little shelters. And even though it was snowing a little bit, they were under the shelters, like eating their lunches and stuff like that. So it wasn't a completely out in the middle of nowhere place. And the rest area there is right in town next to the gas station. So
I didn't know it was in town.
It's not still the most brilliant thing to do, but it's not as bad as just like some rest area out in the middle of nowhere.
I thought it was that in the middle of nowhere.
I think they were just too afraid to ask at the convenience store.
Was that the one on the west side of the road?
Yeah. Right next to that.
Okay. I had my rest areas mixed up.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other one. Okay. Well, still, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't
it's not near as bad as just being dumped in the middle of nowhere, but it still was, yeah. Anyway, the planters and none of that got wet. It was just flurries, but
she was under a picnic over.
Oh, daughter. Are the planters different? No, the planters are the same. They just the black coil was what they could get the easiest, and so I said let's go for it because that's stockpile supply chain issues, and so I was totally good with that. Cindy, dental floss is essential for me to stock. Yeah, dental floss I would say would be an essential because you want to take care of your teeth. Definitely. Debbie, how long is ground coffee good past the expiration date? Quite a while. I honestly don't know that one.
I know
I would say quite a while.
I know when the British sailing ships, coffee would last indefinitely.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's different now, but I assume it's the same stuff as it was then.
Oh, wow. Christina found us during the pandemic and she loves our videos.
Oh, thanks.
She's originally from Michigan, but she's watching from Spain. How cool. See, it's nice and warm there.
Cool.
Lisa, she's from Casey, Wyoming. I was like, I know. I don't know if you were the one that emailed me about doing cooking videos. But after I found out Ellie was stranded there, I was like, oh man, who do we know in Casey that could help her if we needed help? And so I thought, well, I'll just put a blurb out on my social media and see if there's anybody in Casey that could help her if she needed it.
Cute little place.
It's a cute little town. The acne wash recipe: baby shampoo and a tablespoon of activated charcoal in a bottle of baby shampoo. Mix it together, and there you go. That's all you do. Okay,
right here.
Let's see. Yeah, Michael put the link in there for you. We've got a link on our website for the face wash that Mike will put in there. Did you send me any more questions?
I sent you one thing.
Okay.
Well, I think that might be the one you're on.
Okay, let's see.
You got ground coffee and all that? Oh, there's
yeah.
A few more questions.
Okay, Michael, send the next questions. By the way, for you guys, our planners are being printed right now. We got the first batch Wednesday. My daughter brought them up from Colorado for us. If you don't have it yet, that's because Mom and I have to go. If it hasn't shipped yet, that's because Mom and I have to go down and pick them up in the next week to 10 days when the rest of them are done being printed, okay? Just so everybody knows what's going on with that. Rita, praying for a speedy recovery. Thank you. If you guys pray for Dave, poor Dave, when he gets sick, oh my goodness, he gets sick. Thankfully, his job is very forgiving at the moment. It's winter, and his job is more of a summer job, but they're very thoughtful of letting him off, because he just gets this hacking cough, and oh my goodness, it's just awful. How is Jill? She is doing better. For those of you who've been watching the videos, we shot those before she fell, and we still have some more coming out, but she is slowly starting to recover. She might be on Wednesday's show. I don't know if she can sit that long yet, but she is slowly recovering.
We could do the show in the bedroom and have her lay on the bed with the camera. We should get one of those things, the princess beds where you kind of sit sideways, like in the in the Roman day.
Are you going to be the one that's fanning her and giving her grapes?
Oh, you had to put that in there, didn't you?
Can't stock up on bar soap. Mice eat them under the sink. I have never heard of mice eating bar soap. That's a new one on me. I mean, I believe you. I just have never heard that before. Linda, oh yeah. Let's see. Daffodil, you're welcome for answering your question, especially when you Andy says, love your show, especially when you interject your Bible. Thank you so much. You know, we are Bible-based Christians, so we believe in sharing our faith. So, yes. Grandma's homemade. I had coffee that was in the back corner that was 10 years old. I got it out, smelled good, so I made some, and husband said it was good. Exactly. Most of these foods, with the exception of meats and canned goods that are bulging, that means if a canned good is bulging, that means that the bacteria is growing in the canned good, and that's not safe to eat. But most foods, it's not that they're not safe to eat. It's just the flavor will get off. So like if food is freezer burned, the flavor will be off, but it'll still be safe to eat. I had someone email me and say they had a turkey for 5 years in the freezer and they cooked it and it was just fine. So yeah. Will expired peanut butter be okay? Yes, it has fat, so it will not last as long. But yes, it does do good.
So for how long do you think?
How long do I think expired peanut butter will go? Probably 6 months to a year past the date.
Okay.
You'll just have to smell it, and if it has an off smell, you will know when foods with fats go rancid. It will smell bad. And you will definitely know it has an off smell. So there will be no question about it. You won't say, I wonder if this is off or not. You'll know. And if you're questioning it, then just go ahead and bake it up. And then if it tastes good, then go for it. If Amelia says, if it's an oil-based peanut butter, Store upside down and turn right side a couple of days before opening. I'm eating some 3 to 4 years past the sell by date. Yeah. Because what happens is all the peanuts in natural peanut butter, all the peanuts fall to the top when you turn it upside down. And so that kind of seals the oil. So that would make sense. Let's see. Tati's question. I have 2 cases of cream of chicken in the car for 2 weeks in 90-degree weather. Is it safe to eat? Probably. Yeah, it's probably fine. If the can's not bulging, it's fine. Lena just got volume 2. For those of you that don't know the difference, the blue one is volume 2. It's just the additional recipes we could not put in volume 1, which both are 40% off right now, and our gluten-free, dairy-free is 40% off. Looking forward to seeing the new recipes. Yay. I can't wait for you to get it because I think you'll love it. Denise, actually meat that is in tin cans still less and definitely past the date, just like veggies. Yes, you are correct on that. I was meaning meats in the freezer and refrigerator is what I was meaning. But yes, Denise, you are correct on that for the canned meats. Vicki, I bought extra peanut butter when it was on sale. I was hoping that I didn't buy too much because the expiration on it isn't very long. Yeah, guys, make the no-bake oatmeal cookies in our Dining on a Dime Volume 1. Make peanut butter balls. Make peanut butter cookies. All of those recipes, use the peanut butter up. And listen, if you have Stockpile and you're like, how am I going to get this used before it expires? Bake stuff for your friends, for your neighbors, for your mail lady, for your mailman, the UPS guy, and make some suck up gifts for people, help people out, send it to elderly neighbors or anything like that. Just don't let it go bad. Just use it up for something.
I sent you an email.
Okay, Mike sent me an email.
I answered half of them already.
I answered half of them already. That's fine. Actually, I'm starting to lose my voice. So, yes, Mom did fall. So, mice will eat Irish Spring soap. That's interesting. I did not know that about mice eating soap. I'm gluten-free, but I just ordered it anyway. I'm sure I will at least make the bread. Let me tell you, the gluten.
I'm not gluten-free.
Oh, I'm not gluten-free. Let me tell you, the gluten-free sandwich bread is so good. My boys will eat it. As a matter of fact, I need to make some today because I just ran out. Kim, thank you so much for these videos. I was on sabbatical for 5 months and retired early in June. Half salary for 5 months and no salary for 4 months. Having that food stockpile was a lifesaver for us. That is what we are stockpiling for. Exactly. You are correct. Johnny, if you want to keep mice away, put out some mothballs. I had a problem with mice, and since I put out mothballs, I haven't had an issue. Apparently, the smell is irritating to them. Oh, that's
why
interesting.
My grandmother had them all over her house. I don't think it was for moths. I think it was because
it
was in Louisiana.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and her whole house did smell like mothballs.
Yeah. Jay Moore, I find stink bugs near daily, but nothing else. Yeah, put out diatomaceous earth, and that'll kill the stink bugs. Kathy said we had mice at our church camp and they ate
cooking oil
and chili powder. Wow. But they were happy to eat that chili powder. Vicky, tuna seems to last forever. I have tuna that has a date of 2026 that I bought quite a while ago. Yeah, it lasts forever. Are they really putting cricket flour in our food? Yes, they are in some, but it's mostly like the organic, buy it at the crazy food places where they have crazy foods like, like health food stores. Sorry, all you health food people, but you know what I mean? It's all the weirdo foods section.
Yeah, and it costs a lot more than regular food, so it's not something they sneak in your food. You kind of have to, if you go to a health food store, is Trader Joe's a health food store?
I guess.
If you go to a healthy kind of store that focuses on healthy granola type things, then if there's something that says it has a whole bunch more protein in it, then it might be in there. But usually these days they're advertising it because it's kind of the chic. It's the chic thing to do for people that are into that. Yeah. So.
I mean, it's like 10
I don't know
times.
why it's chic, but
It's like 10 times the price of beef. And so it's ridiculous for them to be putting it in there because it costs so much more, but they do. Andy, I have no freeze dryer, so buying some to keep in the back of my closet will pretend it's not there unless we get desperate. Yes, guys, a freeze dryer really does not pay. You have to buy a lot of freeze dried food before it will pay for a freeze dryer. So just make sure you're actually going to use it and it will pay for itself. If you have a garden, a farm, or something like that, and freeze drying makes sense, then go for it. But for the average person, a freeze dryer isn't really worth it.
Did you see that the WS said mice will eat ivory soap flakes and also candles?
Oh, wow.
Said my mom used to store things in the oven at the cabin to keep the mice from eating them.
Oh, wow. I got candles today, so wait till you guys see what I did. You guys are going to think I'm like this crazy hoarding woman. I guess I am now. I need intervention. Today, the thrift store had $10. Buy all the Christmas decorations you want for $10. So I did, and I came home with 2 carloads. I couldn't even close my trunk. I had to tie a string on the trunk and pull it over through my car window to hold the trunk down a little bit. It didn't really work very well, but I tried. As I was talking to my friend Kimmy from She's in Her Apron, because she was having a meltdown moment, I was like, oh my goodness. And so I got 4 Christmas trees. I got a whole bunch of poinsettias. I got a bunch of candles, all for $10. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But actually, I do have a plan for it all. Vicki, I eat peanut butter every day, so I'm sure I will get it eaten before it's too late. Yeah, I should make some peanut butter cookies for us. Although we aren't out of peanut butter. I just bought this peanut butter, so it's fresh.
Hashem Cavell says, honey, you just be a crazy hoarder lady.
Let's see. Vicky says I got organic whole wheat flour for under $5. I have 5-pound bags that are good till the end of 2023. Yay, good for you. Question: what about oil like olive oil? Same thing as shortening and all that, about 1 to 2 years past the expiration date.
Did you see the one about Christmas cookies?
Music Mad, hello. How are you down under? I don't know. Is New Zealand down under as much as Australia?
That's a good question, because it's down under the equator. But do you say down under there? Or is that a strictly Australian thing?
I don't know. I can't imagine how nice and warm and toasty it is there now as we're freezing.
It's 6 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. So
yeah.
what would that be, like 20, 25 or 20 something Celsius?
What was the Christmas cookie question?
No, that'd be below 0 Celsius.
Yeah.
Way below 0 Celsius. Where was it? Do you have a favorite? Lori, do you have a favorite Christmas cookie that you like to make?
I don't make Christmas cookies.
I like that chocolate one you made like a week or 10 days ago. Was that an experiment?
The chocolate? No, that was in volume 2, I think, or volume 1. The chocolate cream cookies in volume 1 was the one I made.
That's the one that was kind of flatter?
Yeah. I don't bake Christmas cookies. I bake Christmas candies. And Michael put the link in there for you. Our Christmas candies is what we do. I don't do Christmas cookies at all. Does your cookbook include recipes cooking only from shelf-stable foods? No. My cookbook is just a normal, regular cookbook for everyday common foods that everybody will love, like pizza and waffles and brownies and stew, just like on the cover right there. So it's just normal food. Are you planning?
Is that in the one that the freebie?
What?
The shelf-stable food recipes? Isn't that in the?
Our free Stockpile ebook. You can sign up for, and that has shelf-stable foods if you want them. Are we planning a possible tips and hints for first aid and medications type pantry stockpiling? I already did a video on that, actually. So you might go back and look, but we did do a video on that. Let's see. Honey, you just be a crazy hoarder lady. Thank you.
Oh my, I just checked in 6 below 0 Fahrenheit is 21 below Celsius, so that's where we are.
They'd probably be freezing. Do you do videos using a bread machine? No, I don't have any videos doing a bread machine. Does your gluten-free substitute using almond flour? Just found out family member is sensitive to almond flour. No. The base recipes use my favorite gluten-free flour from Walmart, and it has rice, tapioca, sorghum, cornstarch, and potato starch. But I also have a homemade one in gluten-free, dairy-free right here in case you can't get that one, because sometimes they're sold out. Please know you're not the only crazy hoarder lady. What's funny is I'm not really a hoarder. It just looks like I am because I've been doing a lot of shopping lately to decorate our house that we've just moved into. And I'm finishing our basement and I'm getting new Christmas decorations. And some of this is for videos that I'm going to be doing. So it looks like I'm a crazy hoarder lady, but I'm not as hoarding as I seem. Although today I did cross my mind that maybe intervention needs to be happening. Not
I was
sure,
wondering.
but
Music Mad said, doing well, Tara. Yes, down under is an Aussie thing.
okay, so Tina wants to know if New Zealand and Australia are down under. What are we north of the equator? What are we called? What do you guys call us? They call us Yankees, don't they, in America?
Well, some people do.
I don't know. What do you guys call us?
Music Mad said it's 22.5 Celsius today, which is 72 here. That's perfect.
Wow. Maybe we should go visit her.
Yeah.
BJ and Ellie aren't going to be here for Christmas, so we were like, man, maybe we should go to Tahiti for Christmas. Or the Caribbean. Mike wanted to go to the Caribbean, but I said the Caribbean would be a better place to go. But he keeps insisting on going to the Caribbean. I don't know.
I would go to Tahiti, but we could go the whole family to the Bahamas for the same price.
We could as Tahiti.
Even though I would love Tahiti.
That's funny. Oops, I lost my channel here. Oh, yeah. So I need to get my Tightwad Tuesday video done for tomorrow because I actually hit like 3 thrift stores twice because BJ's friend that he brought up, she just absolutely loved our thrift stores here. She was just so excited. She's like, oh, they're so cheap. Oh, look at this. And so she got a whole bunch of stuff. And we crammed it all in BJ's car because he ended up having to take Ellie home. So then he didn't have as much space. So we put all of Ellie and Izzy's stuff on the passenger side of the car. Almost all of it went on the passenger side of the car because his trunk had his subwoofers in there. So he didn't have room for that. And we got it all in. We were happy because we got it all in. I'm sorry, guys. It's not that I'm boring myself. I just am super tired because it's been a long weekend.
Did you answer Nancy's question about whether the book uses almond flour or flour egg whites? Okay.
Yep, I got that. And for those of you who keep asking, our planners are at the printers right now. We got our first load. My daughter brought them up, but we've shipped all those out. So the next load, guys, is in the next 7 to 10 days. So if you order now, we'll be shipping around December 10th, give or take. I'm actually going to ship them from Colorado since Denver is a huge hub for the post office, and you should be able to get them even quicker. So for those of you wanting the planner, and then all of our cookbooks are 40% off right now, including our gluten-free, dairy-free, 40% off. All of our print books and our ebooks are 50% off. And who's asking if I'm taking Lee Ron's advice?
Little Crafty Nook.
Little Crafty Nook. Which advice from Leron? I think we're taking Leron's advice, but I can't remember which advice.
We need to ask Leron directly. I mean, we asked him at Vid Summit, but we wanted to call him and set up a call.
We need to do a consultation with Leron. We did a consultation with Roberto, and he actually gave us a ton of good information, and so we're implementing all of that. But I can't remember which advice it was. Did she say?
Nikki.
Nikki?
I think she's Nikki. I think that's what she's saying.
Okay, but what's Leron's advice?
I don't know.
She didn't say yet?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, any other questions?
Denise 104 asked, how do you wash shoes from thrift stores, like tennis shoes? Run them through the washer?
Yep. If they're super bad, I will scrub them with a scrub brush with like Dawn and baking soda to get bad stuff off. But I just throw them straight in the washing machine and don't put them in the dryer. You can put them in the dryer for a little bit to get them started, but yeah. But I just throw them in the washer and then just let them air dry. Usually is how I do that.
Cool.
Did she ever say which advice I was supposed to be taking for Leron?
She says, great, not too many lives.
Oh, not too many. No, I'm not doing too many lives. Actually, we're just having a special Black Friday sale. So we do more lives during our sales times because people have more questions about our books and stuff. And so it's easier just to answer them with a live. So that's what we've been doing.
Amber asked, what laundry detergent do you use?
Right now I use Tide. So that's what I'm using right now.
We do make our homemade she makes our homemade for our son because he's super sensitive.
Because he's got allergies to the fragrances and laundry detergent, so I do make the homemade for him.
Suzanne says, I think you should make more of your soap. A lot of people would buy it.
Oh, when BJ's friend Izzy was here, she wanted to make some, I had some goat cream left and some bath salts, and so she wanted to make some bath salts and goat cream, so we did that while she was here, and we were going through the fragrances, and I was just like, oh man, I miss making my soap so much. And I was actually thinking about seeing if I could get it together in February in the studio to get the soaps and the cooking videos going back up again. I don't know. I'll see. I'm trying to decide what to do with the cooking videos. I'm not quite sure how to go about doing the cooking videos because we have our other channel, Super Easy Recipes. Michael put the link in there for you, but my other channel is Super Easy Recipes where I'm only doing cooking, but we do so much better with prepping here at Living on a Dime than we do with cooking videos. I know it seems crazy, but I sell like 4 times as many cookbooks with prepping videos than I ever did with cooking videos. I know you guys miss the cooking videos. I totally get it. But we are really, really trying to get our house paid off. Like really trying to get our house paid off. And so we're hoping to have it paid off by April. I wanted to have it paid off by the end of the year, but that's not going to happen, I don't think. Well, unless you guys just share on Facebook that we're having our sale and Instagram and everything. I don't know. We could have a miracle and we could ship thousands and thousands of books for Christmas, but it looks like it's going to be April or May before we get the house paid off. But
that's the optimistic outlook.
That's the optimistic outlook. Well, we had to buy Big Bertha, which we'll explain tomorrow in tomorrow's video. We had to buy Big Bertha. We had to pay for the planners. We had to pay for taxes. We had to pay for, what was the other stuff? There was something else big we had to pay for. I can't remember. We
have the kitchen online.
Oh, yeah. And we're remodeling the kitchen in January. So we had like $50,000, $60,000 worth of big expenses happen that could have gone on the house, but we didn't. And so, yeah. Nancy, did you hear the Fed has their digital currency now? Yes. I have heard that. That's partly why I'm wanting to get the house paid off as quick as possible, because it's going to start getting dicey here with the digital currency thing. The government will be able to literally control what you buy and sell. And if you think they're not going to control what you buy and sell with their digital currency, you've got your head buried in the sand. I'm sorry. But they're going to say, well, you used enough gas this week. You don't need to use anymore. Well, you've eaten too much beef this week, so you can't buy beef. That's how they're going to do it.
Well, they actually stated that's part of the purpose.
Yeah, they've actually told us that that's what they're planning on doing. And
they can make it expire too, so you have to
Yeah.
spend it right now.
And I mean, if you don't think what happened on November 8th was rigged, I'm sorry, you got your head buried in the sand too. There is absolutely no way that the red wave they were waiting for didn't happen, except that it was rigged. And so you just have to accept the fact that they're not playing by the rules. They have no intention of playing by the rules. And they have every intention of literally controlling everything you do. When I say we are this close to a communist state, we are literally this close to a communist state. I mean, you can think we're not all you want, but the writing is on the wall. Everything is in place, headed that direction. And that's just where we're headed. So you've got to prepare as best as you can, get as much debt paid off, because the lower your bills, the less money you will have to live. And so the more you can rely on yourself instead of the government for things, you're going to be much better off.
Music Man, I'm not sure why this super easy one's not working for you. I'll share it again.
Is the super easy link not working?
Well, I'm going to click it and see. Okay. Yeah, when I click it, it goes straight there. So if it's not working, you can copy. Well, it's not all there if you copy it. You can just go to YouTube and type super easy recipes, and the channel should come up. It has a picture of like blueberry pancakes or something.
I changed.
Bubble got cut?
Yeah. I changed the picture to chocolate chip cookie dough. Is what I changed the picture to. So it's chocolate chip cookie dough, and that's super easy recipes. That's my channel. Oh
man. Did I mention the one from Denise Mom before? How do you wash shoes from thrift stores?
Yeah, okay. Got that one.
Barbara, since prices for Christmas gifts are very expensive, are batches of different cookies a decent gift for family for me to ship off?
Yeah. Don't buy Christmas gifts for extended family.
Is it expensive to ship the cookies?
It would be expensive to ship the cookies, but I wouldn't worry about buying gifts for extended family. I mean, I would buy them for your kids and your grandkids and your spouses, but I wouldn't worry about buying gifts for extended family. I would just say, you know what? I'm sorry, but with the economy the way it is, we are only buying gifts for our kids and grandkids from now on, and that's all we're going to do. It's okay to say no. You do not have to exchange gifts with every Tom, Dick, and Harry in your family. Aunt Myrna has enough stuff as it is. She doesn't need just more stuff. Yeah, so sorry guys, I got a bubble stuck in my throat and it was extremely painful. I still have a sore throat. That's why I'm drinking my A&W, which I got for $3 for 12 last week for Thanksgiving. Okay, next question.
I'm just looking to see.
Okay, Mike's checking on questions real quick here. Don't forget, guys, our Black Friday sale, 40% off our print books, everything but our planners. Our planners are printed in the USA, so we don't have a huge margin for profit on those. So those are not on sale, but all of our other print books are on sale right now.
I don't see a lot of other questions, just people agreeing with you on that.
Oh, no. Oh, Super Easy Recipes, guys, is Pancakes Picture. It's my other YouTube channel that I changed. I have another recipe YouTube channel that I haven't told you guys about.
But it's probably going away, right?
It's probably going to go away because I'm combining the two, actually. But it's a shorts only channel, and that's the one with the cookie dough. It's the pancakes. The Super Easy Recipes is Pancake Picture. I apologize. I was getting my recipe channels mixed up. And so, yeah. All right. You getting the last of the links in there?
Well, oops. I was trying to help with this, but okay. Yeah, because Music Note said it wasn't working for her. Also, you can go to our website, livingonadime.com, and click on under videos, show notes, and that link to Super Easy Recipes is there also.
Okay. All right. Any last questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, guys. Go check out our Black Friday sale right now, up to 50% off. 50% off ebooks, 40% off all of our print books. And we do have our undated planners at the printers being printed right now. If you need planners for the new year, visit us at livingonadime.com. And if you need a free Bible, go to livingonadime.com, click on the shop, click on free Bible, and we give away free Bibles if you need one also.
Sorry, hang on just a second. But there was Eileen asked a question that I forgot about earlier.
Eileen asked a question.
If you don't watch the news, how do you get your information? She's trying not to watch the news.
If you don't watch your news, how do you get your information? So here's the thing. What information in the news, if you didn't know about it in the last 10 years, what would it have affected your life? How is there anything that it truly would have affected your life and your life would be totally different by knowing that information? The only thing I can think of would be storms, weather storms. So just get a weather app and just check the weather for the weather. As far as everything else, there is absolutely nothing that has happened in the last since September 11th. And even September 11th, the only people who were really affected by September 11th were the people in New York and Pennsylvania. Is that where the Pentagon is? Pennsylvania? I don't know. Wherever the Pentagon is.
No, it's in Virginia.
Or Virginia. Sorry, wrong state.
Pennsylvania had the plane
would
crash.
Be those people. Even that thing going around that we had for 2 years in 20 and 21, you would have got sick, thought you had the flu, and you would have been done and over with it. It really did not affect people at all, really. And people would have thought they just had a regular cold, flu, whatever. It really amazes me how the number of flu cases were pretty much extinct for those 2 years. And now the number of people who have died from being vaccinated, who have died with that thing and are vaccinated, are higher than the people who just got it in the first place and just went through it. Even that did not really affect our lives, except for the fact that they just shut everything down for no reason at all. Okay? So you have to keep it in perspective. Pretty much nothing that's happened in years, with the exception of weather issues, has really affected anyone's life. Really hasn't. And so how do you get your news? Your friends and family will tell you if something is really important. Now, I'm not saying we don't ever see the news at all. We don't just sit and watch the news, but stuff will pop up on our computer. And I do I do watch some news videos just to get video content. Because if I didn't have some of this crazy going around, then I wouldn't have video content. But think about it. I was thinking about doing a video. Just think in June, July, and August. All the news, all these people kept going on about food shortages are going to hit in September, October, November. Be careful, because food shortages are just going to be awful. What happened to all the food shortages? We've had no food shortages. There have been no food shortages. Yet, if you were watching the news, you would have thought we were going to totally run out of food. It's the same thing. I'm trying to decide if I should do another video. Oh, this year's harvest is just awful. Oh, the 2022 harvest. Oh, we're eating last year's food. The harvest is just going to be awful. I went and looked. This year's harvest is just as good, if not better, than all the years before. We actually have the wheat and corn available. Now, Could there be problems in shipping it? Yes, there could be. This is why we stockpile. This is why we get ready. Because anything could change at any moment, especially with the current nut job administration we have right now in America and the rest of the world. Our governments do not care about the people. If you think they care about you, you got your head in the sand. They don't. They only care about them and their pocketbooks. So, having said that, yes, you need to be prepared for any kind of emergency. But to sit there and watch the news, absolutely nothing with the exception of maybe weather. By watching the news, would your life have changed? No, it wouldn't have. I can't think of one thing in the last, I don't know, what can you think of? Can you think of anything since we've been alive that by not watching the news, our lives would have been just totally affected by it?
No, I mean, we would have
Other than weather. We
would have found out about it. But things like somebody was talking about fires, living in a fire area.
Okay, but that's a weather type thing by me.
In Colorado, we were able to get fire alerts.
Yeah.
And you can follow fire-related news sites only about the fires and not just the regular news.
So like flooding, fires, you can be on emergency alerts where they will text you and tell you, or you can check just fire charts or weather charts. Like we would check the fire charts when we were in Colorado and we were headed up to the mountains. We would check the fire chart to see if it had jumped and was any closer to where we were going to be going. But can you think of anything, dear, in our lifetime that by not watching the news, your life would have been totally ruined because you didn't watch the news? No. I can't think of one thing.
Well, so here's the thing. Some things I think it's useful to have some awareness of what's happening. But I thought, because like September 11th was a pretty big deal.
But would your life have actually changed?
I told Tara at one point that if we didn't know that it happened, in terms of how we lived from day to day, it wouldn't have been any different. I mean, it's still a big deal, but it's not that we didn't have to change something at home to be, be careful about spending or be on guard for someone coming to the house or whatever in a different kind of way than it was before. So that was the main thing is, I think it's just mostly there to scare you, and people will tell you, you can look to see if somebody tells you something.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you the things that are big deal anyway.
What does Chris Lynn from Hawaii say? See, okay, so Chris Lynn is an example. A volcano is going off in Hawaii right now that hasn't been going off in 38 years. But that's what I would call a natural disaster, weather type thing. Natural disasters would be the only way that I would say watching the news would affect you, But what did she say? Something about she was in Hawaii.
I just want to say I love you guys. She says aloha. I just want to say I love you guys. Just moved from Oahu, Hawaii to Utah. Do you think we still have time to stockpile? Bless you and your family.
And I would do it now. I would say whatever extra money you have, do it now because the prices are going to be going up again. So the government has already told us that they're planning on doing that. Just expect it.
All right. Well.
So did we have a lot of people yelling at me because I told them not to watch the news?
No. Actually, I didn't read that because they were comments, not really questions, but there was somebody had said, "Oh, Amanda, my husband watches the news a lot, and I never do. Guess who is stressed more?"
Exactly. You can always tell the people who watch the news all the time because they're just parroting what the news says, and they're just parroting things that, frankly, it doesn't really matter. And all of the riots and all of that stuff that we had going on in 2020, all of that stuff was completely blown out of proportion. The majority of that stuff was going on with misinformation that the liberal news was just blowing propaganda out and wasn't actually happening. And so a lot of it's just a bunch of baloney.
So Jim says, then should we not be aware of what's happening elsewhere in the world?
Yes.
it's
not going to matter in your life. I mean, it's fine to know a little bit that's going on.
It's helpful to know if there are wars happening or whatever, but it doesn't really help you in your daily life to know about things in other places.
How is knowing Russia invaded Ukraine actually affect you here in the United States? It has not affected you at all. And if you say it's the gas prices, that's the current president's fault. That happened like 3 weeks after he was in office. So using Russia and Ukraine as an excuse for prices going up and all that kind of stuff is a bunch of baloney. It's not. It's the current administration that did it. And so, would it have really affected your life? No, it wouldn't. But people like to think, I don't know.
It would. I hate to say, don't pay any attention at all, but
the majority of it's lies, anyways.
Yeah, but sorry, I'm dealing with. But you can it's kind of like right now there are big things on the news talking about murders in various places, and that's really awful that those things are happening. But do you need to know? Because in some places where it's happening, it's like it's nowhere near where you live, it's nobody you know, and it's a terrible thing. But if you find out every terrible thing that happens everywhere, you're just stressed all the time, but it doesn't actually have bearing on your individual life.
Well, and I saw a thing that said that other countries are putting out warnings to come to the United States because there's so much violence and gun shoot-ups and stuff. Shootings and stuff. Okay, yeah, there is, but it's so blown out of proportion that you have a bigger chance of dying in a car accident than you would ever even come remotely close to dying in a shooting. And so, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. It's just propaganda. It is trying to get you to do things like get rid of your freedom. What does Lois call those? Her freedom stick. Her freedom sticks. Our Second Amendment freedom sticks. Because people just want to push their political agenda. I guarantee you, here in Wyoming, where they are very pro-gun here, I have absolutely no worries about any school shootings here, no church shootings, nothing like that. Do you know why? Because that shooter would be shot back. And if you'll notice, all these things are happening in places where they're outlawing guns, where they're outlawing people defending themselves.
Lisa says, so you obviously not have been to Chicago or New York lately. You've got to be kidding. The violence is insanely out of control. That's because the people in charge of those places, that the people that live there voted for, are doing that. And they just re-voted them in again. So they said, we like that. The people in those places that voted for that, they're saying we like that. If you vote for something and you just want to look the other way and not realize that your leaders are the problem, then if you vote for that, you're approving of it.
Yeah. You go in and you say you don't like all these shootings and everything, but you go and vote a Democrat who says that they're totally against guns and wants to get rid of them all. You actually think getting rid of guns is going to stop the violence? Of course not. That's absolutely ludicrous. They'll just make bombs. They'll just use knives. They'll just use cars. That's absolutely ludicrous. If you think that getting rid of guns is going to actually stop the violence, you are obviously mistaken. If you think defunding the police is going to stop the violence, you are out of your mind. Well, and it's your fault for voting for that.
So part of the thing about outlawing things like that in Chicago and New York is you see how well it worked for them. When you see in Wyoming where it's not illegal, there's not a lot of that kind of crime. And I think that, it seems kind of cliche when I hear it because I hear so many people say it, but, criminals don't obey the law. So if you make something
What?
illegal, it's not going to affect the criminals. It's only going to affect the good guys.
Well, and it's funny because there's a particular convenience store here in Wyoming where the owner has a nice large freedom stick on her hip. And I guarantee you, she has never been held up. I guarantee you, her convenience store has never been held up. Why? Because no criminal in their right mind is going to come in and try and rob the place when they see somebody is armed and they are ready to defend themselves immediately.
Oh, I have to say, Lisa, I think I misunderstood where you were coming from on that. Yes, it is true. Those places are high crime.
Yeah.
But the people that vote for it are the reason why it's there. And of course, if you don't agree with that, it's true they have high crime, but the high crime isn't the fault of the tools.
Yeah.
It's the fault of the people that aren't doing anything and saying there should be no police.
Yeah. I mean, a knife isn't just going to pick itself up and stab somebody by itself. It's the same thing with a gun. So people just have to realize that those places, they're voting those things in and they're saying, we like having crime. We like having violence. And we're okay with that. So anyway, I mean, watching the news isn't going to stop it. So, all right, anything else?
Nope, nothing new. I mean, it's just more comments of agreement mostly.
People agree with us?
Yeah. Those that aren't saying anything.
Those that don't aren't saying anything. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, guys. Jesus is coming soon, and you just need Jesus because he's the only one that's going to help you through what we're going. I think we have the avalanche has started. There is no stopping the avalanche. I don't think it's going to get really bad until the tribulation hits. We are not in the tribulation yet, but it is headed in that direction. Just the digital currency, the one world government, the one world religions, all that kind of thing. You could just see it happening before our eyes. So we know it's all coming, but it's not there yet. And so, you know.
Josephine was wondering, did you see you had is this the hair video?
Oh, no, the hair video I unlisted. So Mom and I are going to reshoot the hair video. I shouldn't have even put it out. I was extremely tired and I don't know what I was thinking, but we need to reshoot the hair video. Poor Mom. She said, well, I look like I have no hair because she was backlit and it looked like she had no hair. So her hair actually looks really, really nice. So we're going to go reshoot the hair video when she's well enough to do it and put it back out again when the lighting is better. So I took it off so that so she wouldn't feel bad on that. I wasn't even thinking when I put that on there because I was just tired that day. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, 40% off all our print books, guys. 40% off our print books, 50% off all of our ebooks. livingonadime.com. Mike will give you the link for those right now. Black Friday is going through, what day did we say? Friday?
You said Sunday.
Sunday. It's going through this Sunday. Grab them now. And then we also do, for those of you who keep asking, have our planners at the printers right now. And hopefully by December 10th, I will be shipping them out. They are making them as we speak. I think we had some issues getting the wire binding, or they had some issues getting the wire binding. I don't know if they have it yet or not, but I know they're all printed and ready to be put together. Visit us at livingonadime.com. We will see you guys next time.
Bye.